Okay, so if you've ever had to run a booth at an outdoor market, a festival, or any kind of event, you know the feeling. You're in a sea of other vendors, and you've got to stand out. In this explainer, we're putting together the ultimate buyer's guide. We're going to break down exactly how to pick the perfect 10 by 10 custom tent so your brand is the one that gets all the attention.
So here's what we're diving into. First, we'll talk about why you need to think of this tent as a core branding tool. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the anatomy of a really good tent. After that, we'll cover how to make your brand pop with the right printing, look at some smart ways to customize it, and wrap up with how to set it up and take care of it so your investment lasts.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You're surrounded by competitors, everyone is shouting for attention, trying to catch the same person's eye. So how do you possibly cut through all that noise and make a killer first impression before you've even had a chance to say hello?
Well, for tons of successful brands out there, the answer is right here, the 10 by 10 custom tent. Look, it's not the industry standard by accident. It's popular because it's so incredibly good at solving that exact problem.
And this is a huge mindset shift. You're not just buying a piece of equipment to keep the sun off your head, you are investing in a powerful, flexible marketing asset. Think of it like a silent salesperson that's working for your brand at every single event.
And here's why it works so well. First, you get 100 square feet of space. That's plenty of room for your team, your products, a table, you name it. It fits perfectly into the standard booth size at pretty much any event, so you never have to worry. 2 people can pop it up in under 10 minutes. And the best part? It's a 360-degree billboard for your brand, right where people are looking.
All right, let's get into the details. Everybody loves to throw around the term heavy duty, but what does that actually mean when you're buying a tent? This is where we separate the tents that last for years from the ones that, fall apart after one windy afternoon. Okay, it all starts with the frame. This is a huge one. Steel might seem cheaper at first, but trust me, it's heavy and it's gonna rust. For any business that's serious about doing events, commercial-grade aluminum is a no-brainer. It's lighter, it's actually stronger, and it won't corrode. It's just built to last, plain and simple. Next up, the legs. You basically have 2 choices. Straight leg frames give you that clean, flush look, and they're totally fine for indoor shows. But if you're going to be outside, especially somewhere it might get windy, that hex leg design is your best friend. The angled legs create a wider, more stable base. It's a small thing that makes a massive difference when the wind picks up.
Now let's talk about the fabric, the part that actually shows off your brand. Here are the 4 things you absolutely need to look for. You want at least 600D polyester. That D stands for denier, and it's a measure of thickness. You need it to be waterproofed with a vinyl or PVC coating. Make sure it has a UPF 50+ rating for sun protection. And finally, check for a fire retardant certification. A lot of venues require it now. Do not settle for less on these.
Okay, so we've covered the bones of the tent, the build quality, but the visual impact is just as crucial. The quality of your printing is a direct reflection on the quality of your brand. Let's look at how it's done.
This table lays it all out. Sure, screen printing is okay for a really simple one-color logo, but for anything else, anything with complex graphics, photos, or beautiful, rich colors, dye sublimation is the undisputed champion. With dye sub, the ink literally becomes part of the fabric. That means it will never, ever crack, peel, or fade away.
And this right here really says it all. It makes no sense to invest in a top-quality frame just to cheap out on the printing. If your brand is visual, if your logo is more than just black text, then dye sublimation is the only way to go. It's the investment that keeps your tent and your brand looking sharp for years.
So the tent is your foundation, but the accessories, that's what takes your space from just a booth to a complete immersive brand experience. Let's talk about how to build out your space.
You have so many ways to play this. You can get full sidewalls to create a more exclusive, boutique-style space, or maybe use half walls to define your area without totally closing it off, and then add-ons like matching table covers or some cool branded flags. They don't just fill the space, they add these powerful, consistent layers to your brand's story. And the big idea here, the really key takeaway, is cohesion. When your tent, your table cover, your flags all match and share that same design, you create this incredibly polished and professional look. It sends a message to every person who walks by. You are serious and you pay attention to the details.
Okay, you've made a pretty significant investment, so let's make sure it actually lasts. This last part is all about the practical stuff, how to set it up right and take care of it so you get the most value out of it for a long, long time.
This is your cheat sheet for a stress-free setup. Now,
Listen up for step 2. Attach the canopy to the frame before you raise the legs all the way up. It'll save you a world of hurt. And most importantly, I cannot say this enough, never, ever, ever skip step 5. Even if it feels like a perfectly calm day, you have to secure your tent. Use stakes on grass, use heavy weights on pavement. No exceptions.
And here's how you keep it looking brand new. The golden rule, number 1 with a bullet, never, ever store the canopy when it's wet. That's a one-way ticket to Mildew City. Clean it gently when it gets dirty, give the frame a quick once-over after you use it, and just keep it in a cool, dry place. These simple habits make all the difference.
And that simple care pays off big time. A high-quality tent isn't a disposable one-season item. We're talking about a durable piece of equipment that can represent your brand for 3, 5, or even 7 years of regular use. And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? When you choose the right materials, invest in professional printing, and take good care of it, you're not just buying a tent for your next event. You're investing in a mobile, high-impact branding machine that will work for you at hundreds of events for years to come.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you're setting up at an event, just stop for a second and take a look at your whole setup. Are you really making the strongest impression you can? Is your brand showing up at its absolute best?